Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Hopefully all of you are doing well. So today we are here to discuss about this topic is uncovering the past, how carbon reduces half-life, date ancient artifacts. So first of all, I want to thank my course teacher Abdullah Rafi sir to give us the opportunity to discuss on this topic. So before getting to this topic, I want to introduce my teammates who are working with me in this presentation. First on first of all is Hafiz Fahim, then Tanvir Mahatak Tani, then Ismi Kausaruddin Shenanto, and then Abdul Sami. And next, Sumayat Agusul Saib, and at least Pranto Kumar Shah. So, carbon dating is a method developed by William Live in 1949, which is used to find out how old ancient objects are. Scientists use it to date things like fossils, bones, and old artifacts. It works by measuring how much of the radioactive carbon-14 is left in something that was once alive. So the science of carbon-14 and half-life. So if we say a living object like a tree and like dinosaur or something kind of that. Suppose a scientist finds a dinosaur bone. When dinosaur was alive, its body has carbon-14. After it died, the carbon-14 started reducing. The scientists measured how much carbon-14 is left and compare it to a fresh sample. If only half the original carbon-14 is left, that means the bone is about 5,730 years old. If only a quarter is left, it is about 11,460 years old. So this is from my side. I want to welcome my next teammate, Sumaya Tabassum Saiba, to discuss more about this topic. So
Thank you, Kausaruddin Shanto, for inviting me. Now I'm gonna discuss the key characteristics of carbon 14. So, the first point is radioactive isotope carbon 14 is an unstable isotope of carbon that undergoes radioactive decay over time. Half-life of 5,730 years. The half-life of carbon 14 is approximately 5,730 years, meaning half of a given sample will decay in this time. Formation in the atmosphere. It is continuously produced in the upper atmosphere when cosmic rays interact with nitrogen 14. Interconnection into living organisms. Plants absorb carbon 14 through photosynthesis and animals acquire it is consume plants. Radioactive decay to nitrogen 14. Over time, carbon 14 decays back into the nitrogen 14 through beta decay. Used in radioactive dating because its predictable decay rate, carbon 14 is used to date ancient biological materials up to around 5,000 years old. Trace amount in nature. Carbon 14 is a very small fraction of natural carbon. And the last point is the carbon 14 cycle in organisms continuously represents in living organisms but stay decay after death. Now I'm gonna invite my next teammate Anand Sami for the further discussion. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adnan Sami. My ID is 2421563. My presentation topic is how carbon decays through the time. This is a exciting topic. This technique is widely used by scientists to determine the age of ancient organic materials, helping us uncover the secrets of the past. So let's begin. Let's how understood carbon 14 indicates to, how carbon 14 indicates over time. Carbon 14 is a radioactive isotope of carbon that organism absorb while they are alive. However, once an organism dies, it stops absorbing carbon 14 and isotope begins to decays at a no rate. The decay process is follow the equation 14C, 14 nitrogen and beta and energy in reduce. This means that over time carbon 14 is converted into nitrogen 14, releasing the beta particles and energy. This predictable decays allows scientists to measure how much carbon 14 is left in a sample and determine his age. And next slide. Um, So let's talk about half-life of half-life unveiled. The secret behind atomic decay, time it takes for half-life of the carbon 14 in a simple to decay. For carbon 14, this period is approximately 5,730 years. After 5,730 years, 50% of the original carbon 14 remains. Then after 11,460 years, only 25% is remains, and after 70,190 years, and the amount decreased to 12.5%, and at last after 22,920 only 6.25% remains. This gradual decrease allows scientists to estimate the age of ancient fossils, bones, and artificials. Next, next slide, next slide, please. Okay, now let's explore how scientists actually use carbon 14 dating in three key steps. The first one is sample collection, second one is measuring carbon 14, and third one is calculating age. And at the first, we see that organic materials such as wood, coral, bones, shells, textiles, and parchments, ensuring they are not contaminate. The second one is measuring carbon 14. The amount of carbon 14 remaining of measuring using a device called a radiocarbon spectrometer or accelerator mass spectrometer AMS. The third one is calculating age. The age is determined using a logarithmic decay formula, which is T equal to ln n by n naught minus to 0. Divided by minus 0.693 into T. The next part is the limitation of carbon for dating, which will discuss my teammates Tanbir Mahadab Tanim. Let's welcome Tanbir Mahadab Tanim.
Hello everyone, I'm Tamim Mahatab Tanim. My ID is 24215,893. Thank you Adnan Sami for presenting his slide. Now I am discuss about limitation of carbon dating. First of all, it has four parts: age limitation, contamination, calibration issue, and not for organic materials. Age limit. Carbon dating works only for object up to 50,000 years old. Older than that, it's not reliable. Second one, contamination. If a sample gets mixed with modern carbon, like from handling or the environment, the result can be wrong. Thirdly, calibration issue. Carbon level in the air changes over time, so scientists must adjust their calculation. Finally, not for organic material. Things like material, rock, and ceramics cannot be dated this way because they don't have organic carbon. Now I would like to end my speech and welcome to my next teammate, Al Hafiz Fahim, for presenting his slides.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Alhafiz Fahim. My ID is 24215,918. Now I'm going to discuss about the application of carbon dating. There are some a few key points we include here. First of all, archaeology and dating ancient manuscripts, tools, bones, and cultural artifacts. The next one is geology and paleontology. It dating fossils and geological formations, and climate science studying past environmental changes by analyzing ice cores and sediments. Next slide, please. The another one is forensic science. Uh, it determining the age of undefined human remains, and another one is art authentication. It helps to determine the authenticity of art pieces such as paintings or manuscripts by dating the materials used to confirm if they are from the claimed period. Here are some key points there. We use carbon dating. Now, I would like to invite our team member Pantukumar Shaha to discuss about advances in carbon dating. Shantakumar Shaha, please welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Kumar Shaha and my ID is 2421528. I'm grateful for this opportunity to present today and I look forward to sharing my thoughts. Let's talk about advantages in carbon dating. Let's talk about that. Accelerator mass spectrometry. This is short from AMS, a modern technique that allows precise measurements of small C14 symbols and next improved calibration curves using more accurate data from tidings, corals, and sediments to define dating accuracy. And next, radiocarbon dating in space. Scientists are exploring carbon dating for extraterrestrial materials on Mars and beyond. Next slide, please. And conclusion, carbon dating is one of the most powerful tools available for understanding the past by leveraging the principles of radioactive decay and half life. A scientist can accurately determine the age of ancient artifacts. Although it has limitations, ongoing advancements continue to enhance its precious, making it an identifiable technique in archaeology, geology, climate science, and formats.
Nice.
And that concludes our presentation on carbon dating. On behalf of my teammates and myself, thank you all for my presentation and my teammates.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Please, mention my ID is 2421571. I guess my teammate will tell their ID.
I'm Sumaita Basun Saiba. My ID is 2421534.
I am Adnan Sami. My ID is 2421563.
I'm Tanir Mastab Tanim. My ID is 24215,893.
I'm Al Hafiz Fahim. My ID is 242159118.
I'm Prantakumar Shaha. My ID is 2421528.
Of course, Sami.